Inflewence here. Thank you for joining me today. If you're new, subscribe, please, and like and share and all that was good stuff. But if you're returning, I thank you for your support. I'm doing the top 10 list of Transformers. Shout out to Workplace Justice. They asked me on Facebook my favorite Transformers, and I've been wanting to do a top 10. So it may surprise you. It may not surprise you. If you watch some of my videos, you may already know some of the answers. I know one will probably surprise you, so watch the whole video. All right, so let's get started.
Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
So number 11. So yeah, I did say 10, but 11 needs to be honorable mention because 11 and 10 can be interchanged. So 11 is Devastator.
Subscribe.
I know a lot of people are like, what? Yeah, Devastator's 11. Because Devastator's the first. I know Devastator's a lot of people's favorite combiner. It's made the top 10, top 11 for me. So I mean, it's still up there with all the characters that are out. There's just other characters that come before Devastator for me, but I couldn't leave Devastator off this list. It was the first combiner we got. 6. It's the most unique combiner. Construction vehicles, 6 of them. Don't need to be explained any further. Number 10, which is interchangeable with number 11 sometimes, is Cybertron. Now I know there's 2 combiners. I mean, there's more than 2 combiners on this list. I actually left off one combiner that's one of my favorites, but I couldn't fit it. It's probably 12 or 13. But I'm looking at combiners as one in a team, and I guess I'm talking about the team and, you know, it being combined. So yeah, Cybertron was always a favorite of mine. For one, I had a lot of the figures. I never had a full combiner until I got older. I had a lot of the figures. I had to have 3 or 4 of them. I just remember because they were planes, and that's one of the reasons I loved them so much, because the Decepticons always were the ones that flew. They were always the ones that had flight capabilities and planes and stuff like that. So when Autobots got planes, I was like, oh crap, like yeah, I like this. So that's the reason Cybertron's number 10. Number 9, Galvatron. Galvatron's on this list. Spoiler alert, Megatron is not on this list. Just because he didn't make the list. He's probably like 13, 14. But yeah, Galvatron. I just thought it was so dope. And this list, you know, to take a little caveat, a little side street. This list, there's a lot of different things that go into why I like a certain Transformer and why I don't. Or I can't really say I don't like any characters. There's a few that I don't really like, but other than that, there's reasons why. Most of the reasons are nostalgic reasons, reasons like stuff that resonated with me on the show. So with that said, Galvatron was always dope to me because I liked Megatron, but I just liked Galvatron that much better until I think in the movie, until the second season. Because the second season, that's when he went crazy. Not second season, third season. That's when he went crazy. Got his circuits jacked up. So he was like wild card. I still liked him, but I just thought he was a lot more menacing than Megatron. Like it was like Megatron on steroids, just because he was a little off, and then he was really off, like as the season went on. But I just like that, and I had the toy as a kid, one of the few Transformers that I did have, and that I think a lot of these Transformers on this list is due to the fact that I've had their figures in hand as a kid, and it just fond memories because I remember it made noise, and it was like the Radio Shack Jones when it was like like I just remember that. Good sound effects, right? But so yeah, Galvatron's number what? 9. So number 8, Shockwave. Shockwave's the same thing. Shockwave was a wait. Am I getting Galvatron Shockwave confused? I know Shockwave had the thing too where it made the noise. Did Galvatron have that? Maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember. I'm thinking Shockwave. Shockwave. I had the Radio Shack bootleg version. I guess it came out. It always confused the hell out of me because I remember my mom bought me that. It was pretty cheap, and that's probably why she bought it. Cause she knew I was into all this stuff, but I wouldn't get them that often. Just out the blue. So she bought. I remember her buying that for me. We was at the mall, and then when the regular Shockwave, I didn't realize it was a toy line before Transformers. So then when I saw Shockwave, I was confused because I never got the official Shockwave. But I was like, this looks just like this. Like, this is what I had because my boy had it. But I just thought he was cool. He was like chilling on Cybertron. He ain't had no emotions. He just was like, this is what it is. This is what I do. I do this. 7 is Jazz. Jazz has always had a place in my heart. I just like in the cartoon, he was cool. He was Scatman Crothers. That's just the way he talked, the way he had, it was kind of like, he was black. Like, I'm just gonna say it. Monolith and all, everybody ain't the same. Everybody person ain't the same. Everybody of any race ain't the same. Understanding that, but you kind of knew. You knew it was framed around, and it also wasn't offensive at the same time. I mean, that could be because the guy was black, but it just was something about it. Like he had a coolness. He inserted this extra. He added some extra to it, some extra sauce. So yeah, and plus I'm a car guy, so. Just a Porsche. I just fell in love with him, with Jazz. He could probably move up, but there's reasons for the people that are ahead of him. Number 6 is Grimlock. Pretty self-explanatory. Dinobots is always one of my favorite teams, but Grimlock being the leader, and he wasn't what he lacked in smarts, he made up for in heart. I like to say that. I don't know if I'm the first person to say that, but it's true. Like he seemed to really care about who he wanted to protect, and a lot of times it was himself. But still, no, he did what he had to do. He was a good leader, I think, for the Dinobots, and dinosaurs. Like what self-respecting young man doesn't like dinosaurs, and then you have a dinosaur that turns into a robot? Oh man, come on, what you talking about? 5, Soundwave. Soundwave is another one that if these other people weren't on the list, Soundwave would be up higher. Just because I always thought Soundwave was cool. He was kind of like Shockwave. His voice was dope for one. Just to have the minions, he turned into a tape deck at the time. It was really, I guess, relevant. Now him turning into a tape deck isn't as relevant. A lot of people don't even know what that is. But in our age group, of course, well, most of the people that like G1 know what that is. But yeah, it was just dope. Never had him as a toy though. I always wanted him, and I had Ravage. I didn't. Oh, you know what? I think they did come separate. That's right. I think they came separate in little packs. And Ravage was the only tape I ever had. Because I used to like Rumble too a whole lot. The blue one, Rumble. Yeah, I'm looking at y'all. It's self-explanatory. Soundwave. Soundwave is like the big 6. So he's just always been popular and just everything. He was always loyal. He was down for the cause. Number 4. So I know this is going to surprise a lot of people. Optimus Prime. Now, Optimus Prime as a character could be number 1 for me. I mean, Optimus Prime was like the dad. I mean, my dad was around, but it was like he was like a second dad. To tell you the truth, for real. Like during that age, like how he was, his loyalty, his leadership skills, all of that, and he was the leader of the Autobots. I mean, everybody knows Optimus Prime, and he could be anywhere on this list. He could be number 1 on this list if the other people didn't supersede him, in my mind as a character and as a toy. So I never had Optimus Prime as a kid. I always wanted it, and I never got it. Number 3 is Omega Supreme. Omega Supreme's always been, he's in my top 3. Sometimes he's number 1. Sometimes he's 2. Sometimes he's 3. I don't know what it was about him. I think because I actually had Omega Supreme. There was one Christmas, I've told this story in the past. Y'all can find it. Maybe I'll link it. I don't know if I remember. But there was one Christmas where I got a lot of Transformers that Christmas. A lot of big Transformers that I never got before. Like I didn't get too many during the year. And if I did, they were like small. My mom would buy, because they were cheap. Transformers were expensive. So one Christmas, I remember getting Ultra Magnus, Omega Supreme, I think Trypticon, Galvatron. I think it was like 2 other Transformers that I got. But that was really the extent of my Transformer collection. That Christmas, I remember, I got, it was like 6 big Transformers. I got a couple smaller ones too. But it's just a fond memory, like getting Omega Supreme, because I was always excited. I love that he turned into the base with the rocket ship. I was always, I guess, enamored. I don't know what the word is, but it just was in awe when I first seen it, because I'm like, man, this guy can transform into this rocket. He can be a rocket. He can go up, and then the rest of his body's like a base or whatever, and then he turns into this big giant robot that can fight. So I just loved it. And then when the motorized stuff as the toy, I should say, when it was motorized and had all those functions with the lights and stuff, oh man, it was just fun. I remember playing with that thing forever. So he just like seared in my brain as a top figure and a top character for me. I know he didn't do much in the series. I mean, he did have his own, a lot of these characters had their own episodes kind of, but he wasn't as prominent as you would think for him to be number 3. Let me put it that way. Number 2, another one, is Jetfire. Jetfire, I think because his toy matched his character. For one, it was the first season, G1, brand new. The other thing was the plane. Again, the flight. Like I liked planes as a kid, and I just remember, I like cars too. I was a car dude. So like the Autobots being cars and being like cars like Lamborghinis and Porsches and stuff like that. Like that was my bag. But I always wanted them to fly. So when Jetfire came, he was big, he was imposing, he was used to be a Decepticon, like all that stuff was intriguing to me. And then the toy, I never had the toy, but my boy, one of my best friends had it. Greg, shout out to Greg. We still cool, we still friends to this day. I told that story too about when I stayed over his house and I woke up like at the crack of dawn and was playing with, because it had ratchet joints. I just remember that toy was dope. And it was as close as any of the figures, I believed, even in my mind anyway. It was close as his on-screen character. And I don't know, but it just became a favorite of mine. Like I always wanted to see him again, and we didn't see him that much. I was always disappointed. But he stayed throughout my life as a favorite character. And Phoenix Fans Toys version is one of my favorite collectibles that I own. Because of that. Number one is Fortress Maximus. Now, I know some people feel like Fort Max is boring. I've heard that before. I've heard it more than once. I heard it about Metroplex too. But I don't think either of them are boring. But Fort Max was always intriguing to me. For one, I loved Headmasters because of I think as a kid, it was more the gimmick and the fact that you get 2 robots with one. I think that appealed to me. Fort Max just turned into a base. He was the biggest. Of course, I never had him as a child. He was just too much. He was the biggest Transformer ever, I believe, at that time. And he's about as big as he's been. Like he's one that was as big then as he is now. And I thought that was always dope. I just always liked the way he looked when he transformed into a base. I didn't really like everybody's base mode. So his base mode seemed more like a city. And like I said, it was the headmaster gimmick, all of that, just everything. He's always been a top tier character for me. He's always been a holy grail for me. I do want a G1 inbox mint. I found one that was pretty expensive and I didn't pull the trigger, but I'll get one eventually. So anytime, like my top 3 characters, anytime they come out, I buy them, depending, almost anytime. Like I have Zetas, I have Hasbros, of course. I got the Fort Max from what's his name? The little deformed guys. Mastermade. I got that. Fort Max. I got Fort Max is on pre-order. Wait for fan stories. Fort Max. I just want all the Fort Maxes. Jetfire and Mega Supremes the same way. Legend size, whatever. I'm buying it. I'm buying it if they make it. And all the characters aren't like that. Even Optimus. That's why he's 4th. Because the top 3 is, and you see me justifying it because it's kind of sacrilegious that Optimus is 4th, but it's real. It's real for me. So yeah, I think I don't know if I finished that last thought, but I'm gonna bring the video to a close, and I thank you for joining me watching this. Let me know below what you thought of my list and some of your lists. Your favorites, a couple of your favorites. All right, so thanks again for watching this video. I appreciate everybody that's supporting. And again, broken record, stuff is coming, hopefully soon. So I'm out of here. Peace.
Life ain't no. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.